Cancers, hello, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Cancers, we only got 4 cards at the onset. We got the empty room and the father, the gem, and Eros. I mean, the empty room is the idea. I mean, I always think of the Jessie Reyez song, Who Am I When No One's in the Room? You know, who am I when I'm stripped of all of my filters? You know, like my exit into the world peopling filters that I wear so often that even when I'm by myself, they continue. But when all of those things dissipate, when they all fade away, who am I? I think for a lot of us, there is this idea of almost being afraid of what you'll discover, right? Like facing our own ego, our own self can be really terrifying sometimes because whether we like to admit it or not, we all like to think the best of ourselves. You know what I mean? Like even though we might subconsciously self-sabotage, I think like we try to be conscious of, the people around us and, like the way that we foster our relationships and, just interactions in general. But I don't know, I feel like there's this backed energy, like that shadow side that says you're just people pleasing. You're not being authentic, and so you feel dropped somehow from like the pedestal that you were on as the person that you were in your what I'm just going to say in your state of people pleasing, because I think that a lot of us have dealt with that, but a lot of us have also dealt with the repercussions of that, which has been a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, a lot of shame, like all of the negative emotions that come along with the idea behind people pleasing. But if I'm not people pleasing, do people like me? And if that's a fear that I carry, then that's something that's going to exhibit itself in my behaviors with other people. And I think that's a fear that we've really had to address, you know? I can say to another person, I do not want to be on your pedestal. Because I know that being on a pedestal means being dropped flat on your face. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the whole point of humanity is that you're adaptable. You can change, you can acclimate, you're not broken. But I think that fear of brokenness got the better of us for a long time. Well, I think we've spent ample amounts of time reflecting on all of this. We've uncovered some value that we were missing previously. Well, I don't think it was missing from us. I think that we were not locating it within ourselves. And I think that you've located that value within yourself. That I think is that bringing you down to interactions that don't operate from an arena of people pleasing, but like from an arena of a valuable exchange. Like there's an equal exchange that's available that wasn't available before because you were just trying to please the people around you. But now that you've brought that back into balance and you know that you are all of those things, you are nurturing, you are attentive and caring and, and nurturing. Well, I don't know if I already said that or not, but anyways, you are all of those things and you do have that value. And I feel like this all is very self-reflective to me because I think it's important in terms of, like if the question is, do you feel ready for a relationship? Am I ready for that? I would say yes, because we've gone through these juxtapositions. We've gone through the lifted up and dropped down and isolated. And I mean, it's been a rough, arguably decade plus, but year at least for sure, you know? And I think that because of that, we've had to spend a lot of time reflecting. We've had to spend a lot of time understanding, like, where is our value actually at? And how do we show up with that value in a way that enables us to, I think, attract the likeness that we're seeking? Because if we're attracting energies that are out of balance, then we need to bring ourselves back into balance, right? And I feel like Cancers, that's what we've been doing, is bringing ourselves back into balance so that we can honor our value, you know? And so the relationship question, I think, is just in terms of Eros, because Eros is romance. It's a relationship. I think it's a relationship of value. And I think that the value starts with you, Cancer, you know? And I love that. Okay. Cancers. Hope everyone is doing well today, having a lovely day. Okay. Cancers. Two of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. Well, I feel like everything that I just said, but in the shape of two cards. But again, everything's turning around because I think that there's just like I think for a lot of us, it's been an idea of being equally yoked, because if you're equally yoked, so we're going to take this to like the old school Christian definition of being equally yoked really quick, just to like surmise this. But being equally yoked with someone in the sense of like the biblical context, you share in the same belief system, right? Being equally yoked in a socioeconomic would be, like two families of money have kids, their kids get married, that kind of equally yoked. And then you have like a spiritually equally yoked, where I think that you are spiritually compatible, because even though we are all one energy experiencing itself, we're experiencing itself in different formats. So like we might be on polar opposite ends of that energy, right? And so there might be a natural repulsion. And I feel like there's a natural alignment with this energy spiritually. So I guess what I'm saying is that I feel like whoever this person is for you, I think that it's somebody who you feel equally yoked with. I mean, there's only two cards from that. Well, we can do more from this one too. We'll try again. It seems really positive. Santa Muerta. The Magician. Eight of Wands, Two of Swords, King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Well, what I feel like is being, I mean, the Two of Swords is a decision, right? And it's usually a decision which immediately indicates that something is being chosen and something is not being chosen, right? And I feel like there's an idea of a decision being made. Well, because I mean, I love the fact that you have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, because I just feel like there's partnership, right? There's equal partnership. Oh, Oh yeah, the whole yoked thing. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I missed that. I got sidetracked. So, oh shit, it's gone again. I'm sorry. Oh, social yoke. So like, okay, so we're kicking it to the 1950s right now. And what it means to be equally yoked. And cancers, I know that it like we are not in the 1950s anymore. And I have no qualms with the trad wife lifestyle if that's the lifestyle that you want to live. I have qualms with the fact that it is worshipped as something that should be something that everyone does. You know what I mean? And it's just like that's not realistic to the majority of women. And yet cancers, we are like we're the homemaker, we're the nurturers. You know, we like to like exist in that, well, we naturally exist in that feminine energy, right? And so it's, I think part of the journey of understanding our value has been understanding like what does that mean outside of the context of that 1950s trad wife that I don't totally resonate with. You know what I mean? That doesn't really, there's something about it doesn't feel right to me, you know? And it's just kind of like, and yet I recognize that all of the, like the value that I seem to carry is very much that type of value. And so it always seemed out of alignment with the value that other people offered, right? Because I'm not offering what, I don't know what I'm not offering. You know, whatever that I did, you know, 500 hours of research on this topic and I can da da da, you know, like that's not how my nothing about me works that way. You know what I mean? And so like that's not going to be a value that I'm going to add to something, but like that's a very high value item to most people, right? And so societally and socially, like our value has kind of been out of out of whack, right? So it's been something that we've had to deal with. And I know I say triad wife and I'm saying female, and you know I know I've got men cancers out there. These are gender neutral. You can be in that other the trad husband role. You know what I mean? Like however that plays out for you, but it's just it hasn't felt right. And we knew that our value was there. We just didn't know how do you like what how do you present that as valuable sometimes, you know? Like how do I demonstrate an unorthodox value? Because I feel like every time you try to present it, it's crashes. And I think you've had to really understand like what is this? What is this value? What does this mean? I have to uncover this within myself so that I can be comfortable, so that I can be ready, so that I can be prepared for when this opportunity does come. And cancers, I feel like it's coming. You know, I feel like it's coming. I feel like there is an opportunity to start fresh. But I feel like, you know, what we're starting fresh with is so familiar to us, you know, like what we're starting fresh with feels like the polished version of our value because we've spent all of this time polishing it, you know, making sure that it had the right cuts and the right, you know, like whatever, however you want to, I just, gems. Cancers. Okay. This is pleasing. Let's see what else we can get. Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Pentacles, Shadow Dance, the Emperor, the Ten of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. A whale. For a lot of us Cancers, I feel like there's just a sense of separation. I think for a lot of us, we have really separated ourselves from a lot of the people in our lives who we absolutely love and adore. And whether that has been of our own volition or it has been something that has been placed upon us, I think it'll vary, probably depending on the relationship. But I think that we felt like we've been missing out a lot on our communities, missing out on our relationships and our friendships and, all of it. And when we made a lot of the cuts that we've made, I think there was a part of us that just longed for it. It was almost like this quiet longing, and I feel like that's something that we've recognized when we've been isolating, when we've been pulling away and figuring out, like, how does this be this and then get dropped, and like, how do I do away with this? But again, that's what we've been doing, right? We've been working on rooting into our value. And, Cancers, I just feel like there is an idea that we haven't gone unnoticed, I guess is what I would say, by our friends, by our communities, by our families. I just feel like they've been paying attention. Is that an open invitation for people who you've closed doors? No, I don't think that that's an open invitation. If you have somebody in your life who's been extremely poisonous or toxic to you, and you've had an abusive relationship with that person for your entire life, and you finally got the balls to cut that person out, this is not an energy that says, oh, I'm just open to anything and everything. But it is to say that that energy doesn't really have a place. So no, I don't think that it's just an open door invitation. And yet, Cancers always practice discernment. You know who you've lost through the years, who you wish that you could just talk to again. You know what I mean? But I feel like the fostering of a cord. I don't know. The fostering of a cord, because I just, like, I see this like a cord cutting, but it's almost like this reversal, like this tying it back together and like melting it back together, like undoing a spell. I don't know. I haven't done it, no. But I don't work with spell work. That's not my gig. But that's me. Other of my Cancers might be into it. And I'm not to say that it's not. I have done like ritualistic things, but more as like a ritual to honor something, not as like a spell to cast. But But I don't know, that feels specific to somebody who really is just like curious about spell work. And I don't know if you can undo a cord cutting spell. I'm not the person to ask. Maybe try Google. Anyways, sorry, that was a very random sidetrack, but there is a sense of really just like coming back to life. But I feel like part of that coming back to life for us Cancers is that we've become a lot more comfortable with ourselves. And you can only love another person as much as you love yourself. And if you can't figure out why it is that you're supposed to love yourself, because every time you try to people please and you associate that with love and you're not able to do it, so you feel like the world hates you. You know what I mean? Like, which is a lot. It's very, very upsetting to Cancers. But I just feel like there has been a lot of that type of energy that you've been sorting through. And I feel like when you step forward into this next area of your life, or as you've been stepping forward into this next area of your life or next journey or leg or whatever, you've definitely been stepping forward with a confidence that says, I've done the work to figure out who I am. Thank you for your patience. The Wheel of Fortune again, I love that. The World, the Nine of Wands, Death. Well, yes, the ends, because you can't be brought back to life if there's not a death that occurs. But I feel like the cycle of the death that I think for some of us, low-key kind of felt like the never-ending death. But I think that the cycle of the death has come to an end, and there's been a point of exhaustion that has followed on the heels of all of that. But again, this new beginning, this turning things around completely, and you're showing up in an empowered energy. You have the Hierophant, you have the Magician, you have the Emperor, the King and the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Wheel of Fortune twice, which I love that. But I just feel like everything's turning around, and it does kind of have that feeling of like everything everything everywhere all at once, because it feels like you have partnership that feels equally yoked to you in a way that fits you. Because I think that, and I don't even want to I feel like having that conversation is opening a can of worms, but men and women, feminine and masculine energies, come with different roles that they play in their relationships. And so while I think same is good, I think that you need similar but fitted. Because if you have exactly the same, then you're never going to be able to challenge one another. And I don't know, maybe that's just, well, I know that is definitely my own personal opinion, because I like relationships that challenge me. I like relationships that push me. I get bored if I don't have that constant sense of movement or growth or development in some form or fashion. I'm like, but I think that, yeah, I don't know. I just think that all of this seems it seems very wonderful. It seems very healthy. It seems I don't feel whirlwindy in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? It just feels like it makes perfect sense to me. The womb. The womb, the warrior, and the vision came out. But Cancers, we've wanted security because we offer security. And if we are well, I feel like we haven't been in energies that have felt secure in any way, shape, or form. And so we felt very, very triggered by it. And I think that that has caused a lot of this up and down energy because it's not just other people, it's us too, like it's us feeling the wave of that and then how that makes us feel, you know what I mean? So it's like double the action, you know? It's just been it's been a lot. It's been a lot to deal with. It's been a lot to sort through. It's been, I think, difficult at times for us to really uncover our value because you feel like every time you get through to a little glimmer, somebody throws another pile of shit on it. You know what I mean? It's been rough. And I feel like that is so all of this that is turning around for us is that it's safe. Security for security. Because you can't create in environments that aren't safe. Right? And I just feel like it's happening. It's happening. Your safe environments. Cancers. I love this for us. I hope so very much that this resonates for all of us. If it does, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.